And now, here's your host of Shaping Success, Wes Tankersley.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Shaping Success Morning Coffee. Morning Coffee. Got you over on TikTok too. If you want to get in on the conversation, head over to YouTube. Go to Shaping Success with Wes Tankersley and make sure you subscribe. And so we've been doing this morning coffee here for last Friday was kind of a crapshoot. Been having internet connections with, so I have Starlink, and a hardwired connection is very good, but with Starlink, it doesn't seem to be as good as it should be. Nikki over in the chat room over on YouTube. Sorry. I was sitting there thinking, I'm thinking about it because I'm thinking about TikTok over here. And they're over watching, and I don't typically, like, I could put the screen in front of my face, but then I get distracted by all the comments over there, and I really want to grow this YouTube thing. So it's almost like we have to have a moderator over there that watches all the time and is hanging out. So we got some cool people over there right now just kind of hanging out. But I need to find a moderator over there that can corral people and kind of push them over here. Because then we can be in this conversation, you know. So this is going to be kind of a short one. I got some stuff going on, so I want to just kind of like have a little recap of my last week. We had the internet connections on Friday, to just kind of throw things off. But I was, I just kind of thought about it. It's like we can have something that you can't see. We can have something that can't go to the podcast platform. There's a lot of people listening to it over in the podcast platform. I saw on, Good Pods the other day. It's like number 6 in my area on like up and coming or whatever, which is not, it's kind of weird. The reason why that's happening though is because we're releasing more episodes over and over again, and releasing more episodes gets more downloads, gets more listens to the show. But today, I did an interview. I haven't done interviews in a while. And over the weekend, I've been working on, getting a lot of stuff updated, as well as like getting this house in order, because there was a lot of things that I bought that, not a lot of things that I bought. I bought the stuff for the fencing, and I bought some gravel. And my wife has been working more than normal because we need her to, because my job, like in the winter, it's kind of slow, and trying to make business and make things happen and make things pick up. Sorry, I'm looking in the back in the corner. I can see over their stuff. Not that it matters. This isn't really set up the way that I want it to be. What's up, Ashley? Thanks for hanging out over on TikTok. This is brought to you by Warriors Collection. If you guys want to get some coffee from Warriors Collection, go to warriorscollection.com. Get yourself a coffee subscription. Use hashtag SWC and get 15% off. My one sponsor. But the big thing is that like there's a lot of things that I have to do, and I think that trying to figure out how to navigate the world with my children, because they're so different in age, is getting tougher. And my daughter is 10, and my son is almost 2, and it's kind of a crapshoot, because my daughter has been an only child for a very long time. And she's used to having all the attention. And then, we have my son, who is super mobile, he's super fun, but he's like all over the place. So we had a couple things happen last week. We're trying to sell our house, and so it's on the market. And my wife and I are sitting in the living room talking, and Nolan kind of disappears for a second. And when things get quiet, problems are happening. So like, what the hell's going on? We get up, we go walk around the corner. Nolan has gotten a Sharpie out of the bottom drawer. I don't know why it was there. I'm not going to point any fingers, but it was there. And he wrote on the wall, and he wrote on the door, and on the carpet. So my wife and I, it's about 8 o'clock at night, and I'm an early bird, but early to bed, early to rise. So it's like bedtime, and I'm tired, and I'm ready to go lay down, but now we have to spend our time trying to figure out how we're going to get this cleaned up, because someone can come look at the house tomorrow. And someone did come look at the house. but I luckily got it cleaned up enough that you couldn't really tell. And I still got to do a little bit more than that. So now this happens, and my wife is basically working 4 days in a row. She signed up for an extra shift because she needs to be working a little bit more. She's having a procedure next year or next month that she'll be out for about a month. So she's trying to work as much as she can to get some paid time off because, well, we need the money. We're going to have to go without money for a little while without her being paid. And so she works Saturday. We have a fence. I've had all the fencing material to put up in the front of the house, and I can't do it myself. I needed some help trying to coordinate that. And now that the house is for sale, we try to get it done sooner rather than later. So I call my parents, and I talked to him, and I said, "Hey, Dad, can you come down and help me out?" And got my little brother to come help me out. So Friday, my little brother came over, and he got a postal auger and did the post holes. And then Saturday, my dad came with my brother, and we poured all the concrete and put the post in the ground and got them all set. But in the morning, before that happened, before anyone could arrive, my builder called me, and I really had to have a conversation with her because she'd been out of town. We were talking to her about some things that need to be done around the house before we can get, as we're trying to get it sold, because all these people are expecting these things to be done when they move into a new house. So instantly when the phone rings, my son thinks that it's for him, and he starts screaming at the top of his lungs that he wants to talk to whoever's on the phone. My daughter is trying to wrangle him, but she's screaming at him. So I go around the corner into the other room. When I walk out, I got more screaming. I'm like, oh, great, what happened? So I turn around. I walk back out the master bedroom door into the living room. My son had gone and got he was hungry, which I should have known, but it's like you're trying to navigate all these things. I'm trying to be on the phone, having this conversation that I need to have, trying to feed them, trying to do all this stuff. So I had gotten Nolan up, and I took him in, making him a bottle, which he normally has, some milk in the morning, and then and he's still drinking out of a bottle, which is kind of funny because we can't get him to drink milk any other way. So he expects it that way in the morning, and he ends up grabbing this bag of chips that's rolled up, and they're barbecue chips, and basically that's all that's left inside this thing is crumbs, okay? And he continues to walk around, tries to open it up, and then just drops the crumbs all the way. And I mean, this is a ton of crumbs. I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? So here we are. We're trying to keep this house clean because you have to keep it clean, because when you're showing it to people are coming, they just call you, hey, you got an hour to get there. Well, I'm working today, or my wife's working today. I'm going outside to work on this. Could be someone showing up, trying to keep the house clean. My daughter, she's probably going to go crazy because I'm like, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? It's like all these things that she's trying to help me do, but she's not quite, responsible enough to do that stuff. She's still got her own things and got those things that she's trying to do on her own. Very helpful though. I'm so grateful that she was helpful. So anyway, I get off the phone and I'm going to go, clean this up. So get the vacuum out, sweep up, get all the crumbs cleaned up and all that stuff. But there's chips, these chips have oil in them. So there's oil on the floor. So not only do I have to vacuum them up, but now I've got to go clean the floor too. My wife has this little mop thing that is kind of like a Swiffer, but it's power and it spins or whatever. And you spray out the stuff and it mops the floor. And I'm like, okay, I'll go grab that. This will be no problem. I'll do this really quick, get it all cleaned up. Start to realize there's a lot of floor to cover. No, there's a lot of floor that he covered with that. And this thing is dead. So it's got one bar on it. And I'm like, why is this thing dead? Well, every day that my wife is home, she's cleaning the house because these people are coming over. We just want a damn offer. So we don't have to worry about it anymore. We don't have to show it again. And we were hoping that we were going to get one, but it hadn't happened. So anyway, I had to clean that up and then go outside and pour the fence. And my parents and my brother were a little bit later than I was expecting, and there's not a whole lot I can do. I can't just leave Tatum with Nolan. So I'm like, all right, we're going to go outside. So we go outside, and I got Tatum trying to help me, and then she's screaming at Nolan and blah, 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 blah. What's up, Jen? How's it going? Just kind of a little recap of my weekend. And so anyway, we got the fence all dialed, and then I realized that I ask a lot of my daughter. So yesterday we got the post in, but then I needed to put the horizontals in. I'm trying to get her to help me, and she doesn't understand, and she's not quite strong enough, and I'm expecting her to do a lot, and I figured it out. But when he went and took a nap, I got half of it put up, and not quite done yet, but then now we have to navigate trying to keep the house clean. You know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Can't really vacuum. Can't really get everything ready. Got to get the kids ready. I got to go to work. My wife's leaving here in, another hour. She's getting ready for work. So just a lot of stuff going on, but trying to navigate through that. It is exhausting. And I will tell you this, one of the things that and you realize as you don't, like I went a whole year. What's going on, Lynette, over in TikTok land? I went a whole year exercising every single day. And I lost the time to do it. Like I could be doing it right now, but I just don't have the mental fortitude to keep going right now on that. And so I'm trying to navigate stuff that way, but it's just crazy. There's just like so much going on. So when my wife has to work, she's so helpful with the kids and everything. And then like when she has to work, then it becomes on me. And I got to get up this morning. I had some work I had to do yesterday. I'm going to go to drop the kids off at, I have to drop Tatum off at school, drop my son off at daycare, go work, get my stuff done throughout the day, and then turn around and go pick them up. And getting the fence done is important. So I'm going to have to figure out when I'm going to finish it, but it's almost there. I have to go get a tool to finish it. Anyway, this is a rambling session this morning. So that's awesome, Lynette, that your new job starts today. I'm very happy for you. You deserve everything that you get. If you guys haven't followed Lynette, she's over on TikTok. I think she follows me on YouTube too. It's all about continuing to move forward, though. And that's really what it is. And that's all we can do. And you could, the things that I always think about is like, should I give up now? Should I just stop now? Should I just keep on doing whatever I'm doing just to get by, or should I try to do more? And that's it. We have to be willing to work a little bit harder than we want to. But sometimes you need a little break. And I was thinking yesterday, I was like, where's my break? Because typically what I'll do on Sunday is like, I'm going to take a nap at some point because I need one, which is weird. And it's not really a nap. It's like me just laying in my chair and kind of resting my eyes, I guess is what you would say. But remember to take care of yourself. Remember that you have to be cognizant of pushing yourself a little bit too hard. And so I'm trying to not push myself too hard, but I am mentally exhausted. And I'm physically exhausted this weekend because of the fence, but like adding that with the mental exhaustion is just tough. But I'm going to get through it. And you have no choice but to just keep moving forward. And that's what I'm going to do. No breaks for parents of a toddler. That is for sure. And he's busy. So like my daughter, one of the things that's, Nikki and I have had this conversation before because she was kind of this way too, but Nolan doesn't quite communicate other than I want more or, no, or, like he uses all the basic words. He doesn't communicate really well verbally, but he's really fun to be around, but he's mischievous, but that's the way boys are apparently. And girls can be that way too, but my experience with him is that he's just rambunctious. He'll give you that look and it'll turn around and run away and go do something. So it's fun, but it's also like you're trying to do something and then hoping that my daughter will help me to wrangle him. She's got her own things going on, and her attention span, like the attention span with kids these days is like super short because they have all these things that they want to do and they can't like just hone in on one thing. So we're working on that with her too. That's kind of my recap. Just got to get through the week. Thanksgiving is next week. I hope you guys are getting planned for that. Well, Thanksgiving for America. I have a bunch of Canadian friends as well. Jen's from Australia, so who knows if there is that or not. But that's what we have next week, and I have people coming into town, and I'm gonna barbecue the turkey like I normally do. I have to get the big Rec Tech out because I've been using the small one. Yeah, it could be that Canadian formula. Our good friend AJ from Nova Scotia, when COVID was happening, when Nolan was just first born, there was a shortage on formula, and he's allergic to all the ones except for the Costco one. So like he broke out in hives except for the Costco one. Well, we couldn't get the Costco one in TJ. What's happening in Canada? We couldn't get the Costco one from here in the U.S. and AJ and a friend of mine, Duncan Sorso, sent me a bunch of it, got it for me. And it's funny that AJ said Lynette's in the YouTube. Awesome. If you're on TikTok, I know that you're just kind of watching me stare at me, but I'm talking. There's a conversation over on YouTube right now too. So that's where that's kind of going. And I'm kind of glancing over at TikTok because I want you guys to come over to YouTube and get in the conversation, because we do this I've been doing this every day this is like week 3. Missed Friday last week because the internet was being stupid. But anyway, AJ goes, it's got to be that Canadian formula that has made him the way it is. And it could be, because the Costco formula from Canada is the same thing as what it was at the Costco here. It's just, it has a different color label to it. And that's when I met AJ and Nick. AJ's just like, I'll send you some from Canada. And I didn't even, it's like, is this some crazy person that I know on TikTok? Like that's the first impression that you get. And TJ is from Nova Scotia too. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know who you're going to connect with. And it's been great. I've met some great people on TikTok, and they've all kind of translated over to here on YouTube. Like I met Nikki on TikTok. I met Lynette on TikTok. I met TJ over in there on TikTok. There's a lot of cool people sitting over in the TikTok side of things. Jen's over here. Lynette is in there too, it looks like. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I gotta go get the kids ready after I get ready myself for work, and kind of clean up the house a little bit, because if someone comes to look at it today, then it's got to be clean. My wife's like, it's got to be vacuumed. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It just needs to look clean. Like, let's just make the beds, make sure stuff's put away, and people can look around the house. So this has been another edition of Morning Coffee. If you guys want to hop in the conversation, just know that we will be live every morning at, it's 5 o'clock Mountain Time. So that's the same for Lynette. Nikki's over in Pennsylvania. So that's 7 o'clock Eastern. And AJ and TJ, they're on that Atlantic time. Oh, look at that. We got TJ over here on the TikTok as well. So TJ, or why do I keep saying TJ? TG. Thanks for hopping over here on YouTube. And they're on that Atlantic time, which is like 3 hours difference. So it's pretty awesome. Yes, thank you, Lynette, for hanging out here. Caught it at the end, but we start, 20 minutes ago, 5 o'clock Pacific time, or Mountain time, like I said. So let's get this conversation rocking in the morning, and maybe we can have a pretty good conversation. But we will catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging. You all have a great day.